Applying safety measures in farm operations. Safety in the workplace is a primary concern in order to work smoothly and productively. In the farm, there are dangers that need to be addressed. Farmers must regard their safety while they are at work. They ought to remember that they are dealing with chemicals, sharp up-edged tools, electricity, and machineries. Therefore, safety nets must be drawn and implemented. Agricultural crop production involves activities undertaken in various areas. Farm workers are exposed to a lot of risk. To avoid accidents, then this hazard should be a prime concern in the workplace. Our objective for this topic are, at the end of the lesson, students are expected to apply appropriate safety measures while working in the farm and safekeeping disposal of tools, materials, and outfits. Now, let's talk about hazard. So what is hazard? Hazard is a potential source of harm. Substances, events, or circumstances can constitute hazards when their nature would allow them, even just theoretically, to cause damage to health, life, property, or any other interest of value. Types of hazard. Activities in farm operation involve exposure to various hazards. The workplace should have a list of safety precaution measures and strategic warning signs to keep the farmers alert and away from injuries, illness, and accidents. Safety standards should always be observed before, during, and after farm operations. Physical hazard. It includes long exposure to radiation, falling objects or debris, exposure to excessive heat or cold, noise, and air quality. Mechanical hazard includes dangers posed by the use of machinery and heavy equipment, which may cause mutilation of body parts, contusions, and other injuries. Electrocution is usually caused by dilapidated equipment. Chemical hazard. Prolonged exposure to harmful chemicals like fertilizers, insecticides, and herbicides may lead to long-term disabilities like blindness, paralysis, or sterility, or diseases like chronic skin diseases, lung problems, or even cancers that may eventually lead to death. DDT is an example of a very harmful chemical that is now prohibited for farm use. Biological hazard, caused usually by microorganisms present in the environment like bacteria, fungi, parasites, and viruses. Pests like rats and snails are vectors or what we call carriers that pass on microorganisms that cause diseases like leptospirosis and parasitism. Psychological environment. This includes workplace stressors arising from a variety of sources. Now let's talk about farm emergency procedures. Safety precaution is needed to avoid accidents. Here are some ways to practice safety in the working environment. Number one, determine the potential emergencies like fire, flood, typhoon, machinery, entrapment, electrical shock, snake or spider bite, chemical exposure, injuries, illnesses, and accidents. Number two, prepare emergency facilities in the farm such as deluge showers, eye washes, firefighting equipment, and first aid kit. Number three, make available correct equipment to contain and manage spills of any chemical or other dangerous materials. Number 4, minimize the risk of personal injury or property damage through the strict implementation of emergency procedures. Number 5, follow emergency response procedures. And number 6, identify the location of fire alarms, fire extinguishers, and first aid kits. Know how and where to contact emergency services and indicate where to safely assemble in the event of an emergency. How to avoid hazards. Number 1, before working in the farm, always bear in mind the established safety precautions. Number 2, wear personal protective garments and safety equipment. Number 3, read the safety precautions in labels of chemicals used and the accompanying manuals for operation and use of machines and equipment. Number 4, never spray chemicals against wind direction. Number 5, do not dispose chemical containers in bodies of water. Number 6, wash your hands thoroughly after handling chemical substances. Number 7, when injuries and accident happened, apply first aid. And number 8, always perform good housekeeping. Now, let's talk about risk. So what is risk? Risk is the possibility of something bad happening. Risk involves uncertainty about the effects, implications of an activity with respect to something that humans value, often focusing on negative, undesirable consequences. Risk factors. There are factors that may increase the risk of injury or illness for farm workers. These are: number 1, age. Injury rates are highest among children aged 15 and below and adults over 65. Number 2, equipment and machinery. Most farm accidents and fatalities involve machinery. What can help prevent such mishaps in proper machine guarding and maintenance? Now let's talk about chemicals and hazardous tools and equipment. Various chemicals and tools are used in the farm. This may be harmful if not used with care. The following are some chemicals and tools that may be hazardous when working in the farm. Number 1, spraying chemicals. These chemicals are used to fertilize and control pests such as insects, weeds, mollusks, etc. Most of these chemicals are applied by spraying. Example of chemical hazards. Number 1, spraying in a strong wind, the spray drifting over a dam or farmhouse. Number 2, washing spray equipment and the water running into open drains, collecting in puddles, or running into stockyards or dams. Number 3, containers or chemicals lying around, empty containers lying in a heap. Some ways to reduce risk of chemical hazards. Number 1, use personal protection equipment or what we call PPE, such as respirators, waterproof clothes, rubber gloves, and waterproof footwear. Number 2, store chemicals safely. Number 3, spray chemicals on days with no high wind. Number 4, no first aid procedures. Number 5, keep a list of all hazardous substances used in the farm. Number 6, purchase of a chemical substance only if needed. Number 7, eliminate a hazardous substance or replace it with a less dangerous one. And last, keep records of farm chemicals. Next, number 2, during land preparation using tractor. Accidents like the ones indicated below can happen. Victims fall off or are thrown from the tractor. Number 2, victims are run over by either the tractor or an implement being towed or both. Number 3, the tractor makes an overturn. Safety reminders in using tractors. Number 1, tractors are not passenger vehicles. Number 2, seat belts must be worn when driving tractors. Number 3, ROPS will protect the operator for serious injuries. Number 4, there should be no sudden stop. Number 5, care should be observed in driving over holes, stumps, and debris or a sharp turn. Number 6, never allow riders on tractor. 7, discuss with family members and farm workers the risk of riding a tractor. 8, post no riders on all tractors as a reminder to all regarding the policy. Number 9, provide vehicles other than tractors when transportation is needed at work sites or in fields. Now let's talk about personal protective equipment or what we call PPE. Farm workers and ranchers can benefit much from personal protective equipment. They are protected from potential hazards while they are at work. They are spared from farm work related injuries and illnesses, for they are properly geared and braced. So the personal protective equipment are as follows. Number 1, hard hat. To protect your head against injury, wear a hard hat, especially when cutting branches of trees or when operating and repairing machineries. Number 2, safety eyewear. Protect your eyes by wearing goggles or face shields, especially when spraying chemicals or fertilizers and when sharpening tools using grinders in the shop. 3, acoustic earmuffs or plugs. This is used to protect the ears from excessive noise when operating different equipment. 4, mask. To avoid inhalation of harmful chemicals when applying insecticides or herbicides, cover your nose with a mask or respirator. 5, gloves. Use the proper hand gloves when mixing chemical or organic fertilizer and when transplanting seedlings. This will protect your skin from contact with harmful chemicals and microorganisms. Number 6, long sleeve clothing. For skin protection, use protective gear like wide brim hats and long sleeve clothing that are comfortable to wear yet will protect you against harmful UV rays from extended exposure to sunlight. Last, waterproof boots. Your feet are the most stressed part of your body when performing heavy work in the farm. Use steel-toe shoes to protect them against sharp and heavy objects or waterproof boots for protections against fungal infections when soaked in dirty water. Now let's talk about cleaning and storing tools, materials, and equipment. There are proper ways of cleaning and storing farm tools, materials, and equipment. These are means of preventing accidents as well as of reusing these implements anytime without any problem or hitch. Additionally, every farm worker must take to heart this task of cleaning and storing. Their safety and that of others involved in the farm operations are assured. Standard cleaning procedures. Number 1, every farm worker must be properly trained on and after the cleaning procedures. 2, a cleaning program and a schedule should be developed according to recommended frequency and monitored to ensure their effectiveness. 3, cleaning must not happen while fresh vegetables are being harvested, packed, handled, and stored. 4, Water used for cleaning must be safe. 5. Cleaning should take place in a designated area away from field and the storage of agricultural inputs and fresh vegetables. 6. The instruction use of products like cleaning and disinfections chemical must be known to all farm workers. 7. Precautionary statements and mixing instructions must be strictly adhered to. 8. Tools, materials, and equipment, containers, tools, and fresh vegetables must be secured and protected. Cleaning reusable containers. 1. Plant debris, soil, and residue of any kind must be removed using a brush or an appropriate tool when necessary. Containers should be inspected for physical damage that might cause injury, spoilage, or contamination of fresh vegetables. If found, they should be repaired. 3. Containers should be checked for missed plant debris, soil, and residue. If found, they should be recleaned. 4. Label instructions for mixing cleaning and or disinfection chemicals must be considered strictly. 5. Containers must be rinsed with clean water. 6. Rapid drying under the full sun must be done to containers. 7. Avoid contamination by storing usable containers properly. Cleaning equipment, tools, and garbage cans. 1. Plant debris, soil, and residue of any kind must be removed by using a brush or any appropriate tool when necessary. 2. Equipment must be inspected for physical damage, causing injury, spoilage, and contamination of fresh vegetables. If found, this should be repaired. 3. Equipment, tools, and garbage cans must be checked for any missed plant debris, soil, and residue. If found, this should be cleaned. 4. Label instructions for mixing disinfection chemicals should be followed strictly. 5. Cleaning materials such as detergent or disinfection chemicals should be applied as required and made certain that no spots are missed. 6. Safe water should be used for rinsing or a clean wet towel may be used for equipment parts that cannot be rinsed with water. 7. Small equipment and tools should not touch the floor after cleaning procedures. 8. Rapid drying in the full sun must be done to the equipment. 9. Tools and equipment should be stored properly to avoid contaminations. Cleaning area for handling and storing fresh produce. Electrical equipment must be unplugged and if possible, plastic, electrical motors, electrical boxes, connections, light fixtures, etc. must be covered. There should be no use of packaging material. 2. Trash and any accumulated plant debris should be off the floor. 3. The entire ceiling infrastructure and light fixtures must be rinsed using low-pressure water to remove dust and soil buildup. Walls, windows, and floors must be rinsed from the downward. 4. Areas should be scrubbed with brush and cleaning materials such as detergent. There should be no missed spots. 5. Label instructions for mixing, cleaning, and or disinfection chemicals must be strictly followed. Cleaning hygienic facilities. 1. Trash should be picked up and put in the trash can. 2. Toilets, sinks, and any other fixtures should be cleaned using the proper detergent. 3. The entire floor surface should be rinsed using low-pressure water to remove and soil buildup. 4. Label instructions for mixing, cleaning, and or disinfection chemicals must be strictly followed. 5. Cleaning materials or disinfection chemicals must be applied as required to the entire floor surface area. No spots should be missed. Sixth, floor and drains must be rinsed. 7. Excess water should be removed and drying out at room temperature should be done. 8. Hygienic facilities should have enough toilet paper, soap, and disposable towels. Now let's talk about technique in storing chemicals. Safe management of chemicals involves the following. First, correct labeling and packaging. Signal words such as caution, poison, or dangerous poison alert users to the possibility of poisoning if the substance is swallowed, inhaled, or absorbed through the skin. The dangerous goods ADF or diamond refers to an immediate risk, health, or safety like flammable liquids. Risk prices describe the type of health effects like irritating the skin, and safety prices state precautions for safe handling, storage, spills, disposal, and fire like keep away from combustible materials. Number two, provision of materials safety data sheets or what we call the MSDS. The MSDS provides relevant advice about the product, its health effects, safe use and handling, storage disposal, first aid, and emergency operation. This is obtained by farmers from their supplies. It should be accessible to emergency service personnel and any employee exposed to hazardous substances. 3. Safe transport, storage, use, and disposal of substances. Safe storage of farm chemicals is necessary to protect them from the elements, restrict access, prevent contamination of the environment, food, or livestock. Never store substances labeled yellow diamond with a red diamond. Small quantities can be transported in vehicle provided that the container is properly secured and safe from spillage. Empty farm chemical containers and dispose of unwanted chemicals properly. Wash the containers out 3 times and use the rinse water to dilute further batches of the chemical to working strength. Now let's talk about waste management system. Waste management is a specific technique, strategy, or device used to treat waste materials. It includes the collection, transportation, recycling, disposal, or processing of waste. It attempts to curb waste for reasons such as public health threat, environmental concerns, or the general appearance of a location. Waste management systems vary according to social, cultural, and technological norms. 1. Landfills. This attempt to bury waste underground or separate waste within the confines of an enclosed area. 2. Incineration. This burns waste material using high temperatures. Also, it can be used to convert the combusted waste into usable energy sources. 3. Recycling. There are specifically marked bins intended for disposal of recyclable materials. 4. Reducing waste. This is preventive and looks to control the production of waste. 5. Introduction into the public consciousness of ecologically beneficial behaviors. This is to produce a greener world. Next, let's talk about environmental laws. The following are some environmental laws to ensure proper waste management and protecting the environment. Presidential Decree 1152. The Philippine Environmental Code, which took effect in 1977, provides the basis for an integrated waste management regulation starting from waste source to methods of disposal. Philippine Decree 1152 has further mandated specific guidelines to manage municipal waste, solid or liquid, sanitary landfill, and incineration and disposal sites in the Philippines. In 1990, the Philippine Congress enacted the Toxic Substances, Hazardous and Nuclear Waste Control Act, commonly known as Republic Act 6969, a law designed to respond to increasing problems associated with toxic chemicals and hazardous and nuclear waste. Republic Act 6969 mandates control and management of import, manufacture, process, distribution, use, transport, treatment, and disposal of toxic substances and hazardous and nuclear waste in the country. The Act seeks to protect public health and the environment from unreasonable risks posed by this substance in the Philippines. Apart from the basic policy rules and regulations of Republic Act 6969, hazardous waste management must also comply with the requirements of other specific environmental laws such as the Philippine Decree 984 Pollution Control Law, the Philippine Decree 1586 Environmental Impact Assessment System Law, Republic Act 8749, the Clean Air Act, and Republic Act 9003 Ecological Solid Waste Management Act and their implementing rules and regulations.